Oh, well, welcome back to episode 20 of Just Critting Around Sportscast. Today we got a very special episode, being as it's our 20th. We're what, 6 away from half a year of podcasting?
Nice.
So,
That'd be right.
Yeah, I mean, 20's not as cool as 25, but it works. And it just so happens it's one of the biggest weeks of the sports year. We got college football just wrapped up, and NFL is kicking down the door this week, starting Thursday with the Patriots and Chiefs. So we brought on our good friend Jairus Jones to join us again. You guys know him.
What's up? What's up?
Watching. How you doing out there in DC? That's cool. Nobody cares. How you doing up there, Matt and Raleigh?
Man,
I'm
Preparing
doing
for
great.
the rain
I'm
for
excited that we're 20 weeks closer to the end of the NBA or the NBA imploding. That's just
hey,
times,
20 weeks closer, baby.
20 weeks closer. It's counting.
Well,
It's going to sneak up on us.
Right, man. One day we're going to wake up and people are going to be playing Griff Ball from Halo. So, what's going on over there, Justin?
What up?
Over there in Oklahoma. Buying my plane ticket this week, man. We're going to be there.
I got you, man. We're doing good, man. I think everybody saw the Sooners just take it to UTEP. That was what we were supposed to do. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield was highly efficient in the first half. And we're looking forward to Ohio State this weekend. I mean, under the lights, and it's gonna be a good time.
I mean, sounds like it. I mean, you guys got a good team. Like you said, that Ohio State game will be very interesting to say the least, especially with the way they looked in their second half.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah.
Is it just JT Barrett? A lot of people have.
He's
him
not
on
that good.
He's not that good. And how is he on some people's
He's
like
not that
Heisman
good.
hopeful?
I think the one thing that Oklahoma has going for it is that their defensive line is so good that they like to put 5 people out there, and that basically means man coverage. So Baker Mayfield has the chance to just throw it up there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We saw Indiana do it, so Oklahoma better be able to do the same, if not way better.
Yeah. Check out true freshman CD Lamb. He's starting as a true
CD's
freshman.
Lambs.
CD's Lambs. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, anyways, he's starting, and he looked pretty good in his first game, so we'll see what he can do.
All right. Well, enough of the Oklahoma slurping. We're gonna move on to Aaron Diggs, the man with no face, the face, whatever the name is in Game of Thrones.
the faceless man.
It's
Yeah,
Shadow
right,
like
man.
Arya Diggs, man.
Shadow Diggs needs to just
Arya Diggs, right?
Alright.
The man of many
man.
faces.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Since Justin wanted to bring up OU, we're gonna talk about Ohio State Buckeyes. We're gonna win that game. Letting you know right now.
Oh, I did not know Diggs was an Ohio State fan.
Diggs affiliated.
Okay, so you are off in the trenches. We're better than last year. I mean, that's
Is
really
there
the
a
reason y'all won.
Is there a bet coming in here?
I mean, yeah, we
No.
can.
Does Diggs
I
have to
don't-
turn on the webcam if they lose?
Yeah, well, we
I
can
don't
do
bet on
something.
college football, but I do love Ohio State. I always have. So
It's a good point. We were talking about it earlier. Cam Newton's brother.
that's true.
And then Liberty.
yeah, Howard.
Yeah, Howard overcoming the biggest deficit or underdog line in Vegas history, and then Howard
What?
beating Baylor. Bad
Was
weekend
UNLV
for Texas overall.
Can we talk
Was
about
it
Maryland?
UNLV,
Maryland,
right?
Texas?
Well,
Yeah.
that's in the Texas thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead and speak on it, Jones. What you got to say about Maryland?
No, it was surprising actually. I kind of went into the game. I was talking to Chris about it earlier. Kind of went into the game with no expectations. I mean, Maryland is
I had 0.
it hasn't been very good as of recent in their football program, but they came to play. I mean, Brigham went down. That hurt a little bit, but Kasim Hills, came through in the clutch, man. I mean, he's going to be a starter now. I know that Brigham is out for the season. I think it's a torn ACL, they said, but I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know how far along I would take them. That may be the win of the year for them, but we'll have to see. I mean, we kind of have to temper expectations a little bit more.
is Texas that school? I mean, Alabama can do it. They can, Saban can recruit great and use the talent. You have Texas on the other hand that every year their recruiting classes are top 5.
Right.
And they have one national championship in the past 20-something years.
Yeah, I think Texas just needs to realize that they can't just nobody's afraid of Texas anymore. You can't just put on the uniform and expect to win these days.
But is it a misuse of talent? Because, I mean, they're getting the talent.
It's definitely not a misuse of talent, but you got to think Tom Herman's coming in probably. Charlie Strong didn't run anywhere near the same offense as
No.
Tom Herman is. So Tom Herman, I mean, think about it. Tom Herman's success came from a transplanted wide receiver playing quarterback in Greg Ward or whatever his name is in Houston. So
Strong left a good team, though.
I mean, yeah, Buechele is really, really good, but that's not the quarterback I'm used to seeing from Tom Herman. So the jury's not out. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I thought they should have won on paper, obviously, but I mean, it's college football for a reason. So
speaking of quarterbacks, Florida State was
baby Cam Newton. Did you see that picture? And then the Panthers, what they did?
I did see that picture. It was pretty bad.
So what's the predictions on their season?
I think they're just like, I mean, they're, in my opinion, in that game, they were in the game the whole time. It's just the special teams let them down. Their defense came up to play. Like, what did Jalen Hurts had 94 yards passing or something like that? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, every time that they gave the ball back to Alabama, they put up a fight to stop them from getting into the end zone or kicking a field goal. So, I mean, they still have an elite top-tier defense, but their offense might take a hit. I mean, it didn't look that good, but they were also playing Alabama. And they're also one of those teams now anyway that just reloads and reloads. So who's to say that this freshman or whoever's coming in doesn't light it up?
Yeah. So tell me this. Does Saban not coach quarterbacks well, or does he not recruit quarterbacks well, or what? Why
he doesn't care is what I think. Because think about it.
If they had a top-tier QB.
Well, they've got the second-string quarterback on Alabama's team was a top-tier QB from here in Oklahoma. And, Hand is starting over him. So, I mean, he's recruited some decent quarterbacks and some, high-caliber QBs. But
you think about they
don't progress, really.
Alabama is you get the lead and you hand it off the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So – I mean,
I don't know. I always found that interesting. That I feel like if they could get that top, well, even though Justin said the guy, their guy from Oklahoma is a top.
He's a second
QB,
string, yeah.
I mean, it just seems like if they had that part of their game that they literally just blow through undefeated every year, because they always have the defense, they always have the running game, but they just never have that high quality starting quarterback.
I think it makes it more as a team.
Too. I think they had it. At least college-wise, they had it in the Greg McElroy to what's his name that dated the hot supermodel. They were at least McCarron. At least arm-wise, McCarron was good. He showed flashes in the NFL when Andy Dalton goes down. Like people want him on their team. So I don't know. That they were decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were decent. They were better than a lot of the Alabama quarterbacks, but I still don't think they were like blue chip.
Yeah. No. They're definitely not. I mean, it's not like a quarterback that's going to carry you to anything for sure.
Right.
Yeah, but it makes it less about the QB, more about the team. I think that's what Saban's all about. He doesn't want, he doesn't want a Heisman Trophy quarterback that comes with all the publicity and takes, detracts from the team. Maybe divisions in the locker room, etc., that come along with a high-profile college quarterback.
So basically, rumors are right now that my bad. Somebody texted me, so I looked on Twitter. Zeke is going to play Sunday, and he's trying to get a restraining order to do the Tom Brady thing. And if he doesn't get it, he'll just sit out games 2 to 7.
You said he's going to play Sunday?
Unless they grant the restraining order, he can't play.
Well, Ian Rappaport, to sum it up, Zeke Elliott plays Sunday, could get a restraining order to stay in the field this season, could not get it and sit weeks 2 to 7.
Oh, you know what? Because the ruling was late.
Yeah.
They had to have that ruling
by today.
By a certain hour today. And if it was late, then he could play week 1 and then push it back.
Yeah, it said official word that Zeke Elliott's 6-game suspension was upheld, came with 5 to 10 minutes to go in the court hearing tonight.
This whole thing is just a complete mess, man. It is. There's no real consistency.
But you got to think about it. We talked about it, I think, when Matt was off the show or whatever. There was no hard physical evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically a he said, she said type of deal. I mean, the NFL believes they have enough evidence, but at that same time, nobody else has seen that evidence. So it's just him doing it. It seems more like hey, you're one of our best players. We can't tolerate this. Let me make an example of you type of thing, which is what he tried to do with Tom Brady at the same time.
Right.
So we all know that Jerry Jones was going to sue this decision anyway. So we'll see what happens.
I think they need to just let it go, man, because they're going to tell him just like Tom Brady said that the NFL's collective bargaining agreement. It gives them the right to go ahead and suspend you. So
Yeah.
Just-
But it got him a
just-
season, right? Tom
Yeah.
Brady.
Yeah, he's gonna do the time. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of how far he can push it back. Brady was
Yeah.
able to push it back a full year. You know, I guess if he wants to try to keep doing that, but eventually you're gonna do the time. So
Yeah.
they should
Just
probably
get it
just let
over
him
with.
sit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, now we got our little chit chat out of the way, our show pep talk. What do we got next on the docket, Diggs?
Well, we staying in the NFL, man. We got some updates and predictions. I know y'all saw that Seahawks trade.
Man, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they trade him for Jermaine Kearse. They get Sheldon Richardson for Jermaine Kearse. Like, come on now.
That just
Yeah,
shows you the
rich,
Jets
man.
are going 0-16.
Oh, yeah.
The Jets all in for that first round pick. You know, trying to get that number 1 pick.
I mean,
That's really all they're
you could
playing.
have got so much more for Richardson, but it's
Exactly. But
whatever.
Why to the Seahawks though, man? Like that just
Right?
immediately
Come on, man.
pushes them, you know,
Makes the
right back
defense
to
that much
one of
better,
the top
right?
defenses, right? Like that's
Mhm.
that's ridiculous, man. I can't stand it. I don't like the Seahawks, and then they just pick up,
Can't
you know,
stand
one of the
Seahawks.
most talented, you know, D linemen in the league. I know he's had his issues and whatnot, but his talent speaks for itself. He's gonna make those plays, so that's gonna be a dangerous defense.
Yeah, him and Bennett. That's gonna
Yeah.
be tough, man.
It's going to be a good situation for him. Players like that. I mean, he didn't have a great season last season with the Jets, but you know, put him in a position where he gets fired up. He's on a good defense already, and man, we'll have
Right.
to see how the Seahawks are going to do. But you know, they're already a team that I'm sure everyone puts, you know, in the top teams to do something in the NFC. So
and his veterans there, so they might be able to kind of keep him in line.
absolutely.
You know, focus
Oh,
on
yeah.
this.
And then the other big trade, Philip Dorsett getting traded to the Pats for Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. I mean,
The rich get richer.
I mean, it's not even like that. I think it's more he's just going to be their fifth receiver anyway, as of right now.
Yeah, what do you think about Brissett going to the?
I mean,
Colts?
Tolzien's still their starter this week. Maybe he's there in case Andrew Luck long term can't go. They're going to trust Bill Belichick to tell him well. I mean, that's all I can think.
I think they're gonna give Tolzien the start, and if he messes up, they'll go ahead and put Brissett in. But Brissett is supposed to
Already, but you're going to have an emergency playbook for him because he's not going to know that whole playbook in a week.
That's why I think they'll just go ahead and keep him keep Tolzien in.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if he messes up, though, they're going to keep him in.
Week 1, I think it's
yeah.
Tolzien's job, but week
Yeah.
2, 3, if Luck can't go, I think Brissett.
I mean, well, Luck's off the PUP or whatever, so that means they think he's going to be there within 6 weeks.
right.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But what do y'all? I mean, do y'all think that Belichick trades that insurance policy unless I think he really must have seen something in Dorsett, because I don't think he just randomly
Well, it
trades that.
just
that
adds
piece.
speed, but it's also a punt returner too at the same time because now you don't have Julian Edelman and Cyrus Jones, who are your two major punt returners and kick returners. They both have torn ACLs now, so this Philip Dorsett is going to act like that's his role right now. Is that he might catch a handful of catches throughout the year, obviously, but I think their receiving core is set. And unless he shows something big or starts making plays with Tom Brady, because it is Bill Belichick's system with Tom Brady, so that's the only way. Right now, I think it's primarily special teams role for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
we'll see, man. He might end up moving up that depth chart and being something, but that's either way. I was a little surprised at the trade. I'm surprised Belichick gave that up because you know you gotta think with Brissett having such a good offseason that he probably could have hoarded him for a little while longer and maybe got a pick or something for him. But maybe Patriots always got enough picks anyway, so maybe they just saw that piece.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Brissett is fool's gold though? I mean, we saw what happened when somebody else tries to trade for the Patriots quarterbacks. I mean, their system is
Right.
good and all, but Tom Brady is the Patriots.
Yeah,
I mean,
look
with
at
quarterbacks.
what Castle.
Right, the Mike Castle situation wasn't the best. I mean, he looked good, and you know,
I mean, he's definitely fool's gold, but he's also just a stopgap. He's not there to be their long-term answer.
Exactly.
For
I think
answer.
all in all, I think it was a fair trade.
Well, I mean, yeah, Dorsett's a one-trick pony, at least in Indianapolis. So
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
right.
All right, so we're gonna do something different, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and each of us give our minute-long outlook for each team.
So this segment's called what, Justin? Is it 32?
It is 32 and 32.
All right, that's what I thought.
And 32 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get a stopwatch on the screen, but for some reason it wasn't working out. I updated OBS and they're hating on me. So I've got a 30. Can you see this? Oh, well, the focus.
No.
Well, we know there's a 32 there.
It's 32 minutes, so I'll be keeping track. We're gonna go just kind of like around the horn. Diggs, me, Matt, Jarris, Crit, and then back to Diggs.
Cool.
Who am I after?
There's no questions. You'll spill it, and then the next person up give theirs.
Who am I after?
I think you're after Jarris.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. So Diggs, you ready, man?
All right, I'm gonna kick it off with my Colts, man. Andrew Luck, it's him not throwing right now is worrying me, but I love what we've done with our defense. We've added some great players. We've added, we've added Marcus Hunt, Al Woods, Jonathan Hankins, Jabal Sheard, Barkevious Mingo, John Simon. We got Malik Hooker and Quincy Wilson from the draft. So I'm really happy with our defense. I think our defense is going to do really well this year. And the offense, I've always been confident in our offense. So we'll see. I got us going 10-6 if Luck comes back in the first couple of weeks. If not, I say 8-8.
All right. And I'll go with the 49ers. Rebuilding season, fourth coach in 4 years. Lynch, I think, just for what the things that he did in the draft is making him a decent GM so far. I give him A so far. Kyle Shanahan, he's an offensive mind, but really doesn't have the offensive talent aside from maybe a healthy Carlos Hyde all year. So I think that'd be good if he can stay healthy. Some little tidbits that people around the league might want to know about the 49ers. We have the first openly gay coach, Katie Sowers, I think is how you say her name. And, she's already a minority being a woman. Wide receiver coach. Defense, I think, is going to be really good in the front seven. I think the secondary is going to be below average. Probably 2 seasons away from being a playoff team. I like the direction they're going. I would say it could be, on the top end would be a 6-10 type team, but I'm thinking more like 5 wins. But hopefully we can get up. Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster are the great pickups. The faster they mature, the better they'll do. Done.
Nice. So New York Football Giants went 11-5 last year. We added Brandon Marshall to be that dual threat with Odell. Added Evan Ingram, the speedy tight end. Hopefully to give, because early on in Eli's career, he really relied on the tight end. As of recently, we've had some kind of stopgap tight end, so he hasn't done as much of that. So hopefully Ingram can give him another target and also take some of that linebacker help off of Odell so he can get more single coverage or more only corner coverage. Odell wants to be the highest paid player in the NFL. He's only got 2 years possibly left on his contract, so he's going to have to continue to do what he's been doing, move up into that Julio Jones top 1 or 2 receiver type of level, which he's close to now. We got Paul Perkins at halfback. We got a horrible O-line. If the Giants fall, it's going to be because of the O-line. I think every other piece, the defense is one of the best in the NFL. I think the offense is going to be one of the best in the NFL. The O-line is horrible, and I think that might cost them, but I'm going 11-5.
Jarris.
All right, Brother Jones, let's hear about that team in Landover.
I mean, I appreciate it if you give him a name, but don't go ahead and let that slide. I don't know if I'm ready to give a actual number prediction on how many games to win, but we'll see. So either way, the Redskins entered the season with a little bit of uncertainty. That's due to a lot of unknown factors. So we lost 2,000-yard receivers, so the team is going to have to adjust having 2 new faces at that position. We have Terrell Pryor, who had a decent transition season over to wide receiver, but he has a lot to prove. And he banked on himself signing a 1-year deal with the Redskins, so that may pay off and give him that extra motivation from his standpoint. Opposite of him, we're going to have Josh Doctson, a dynamic wide receiver from TCU. We haven't seen a whole lot of him due to injury, but he has loads of potential. The Redskins drafted him high last season due to his size and his athleticism. So with the Redskins lost in speed that they had last season with Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon, they gained in size, and that's something that the Redskins haven't had at the wide receiver position for as long as I can remember. If those two can stay healthy, Put on a productive.
Sorry, enough Redskins talk. You want a minute and a half? Let's go, Panthers.
Really?
You want a minute and a half?
Wow. Well, we're gonna move on to the Panthers. I got them going 10-6 as division champions, and that's more than just me being a fan. If you're looking at the team, honestly, the defense is as close as it's going to be to being back to that 2015 level that we saw. We have Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, Shaq Thompson, honestly, one of the best front sevens in football. When you go Julius Pepper, K'Wan Short, Starla Tulele, Vernon Butler, Mario Addison, you name it. I mean, we were second in the league in sacks last year. On the off, I mean, we got James Bradbury, one of the best rookie corners last year, so he should make a step. Captain Munderland. So I think we're good to go on defense. As far as offense, Cam Newton, look for a bounce back year. Coming off of shoulder surgery, he's throwing unlike Andrew Luck. We have Christian McCaffrey, who's going to be returning punts, catching out of the backfield, running the ball with Jonathan Stewart. And KB looks really good, as well as our offensive line, the biggest bright spots that I've seen in the preseason so far.
No, Diggs.
All right. I like the little bit of shade you threw right there.
Amen.
But I got the Dolphins, man. I think Jay Cutler's going to help them out a little bit more than even Ryan Tannehill was doing, I think. But they got Julius Thomas. They added Altaron Werner to their depth in their secondary with Brandon Maxwell. You know, Jay Ajayi is just I think he's going to have a big year this year. And then Xavier Howard, like, the sky's the limit for that guy, in my opinion. And I got them going 10-6, man. I think they're gonna have a battle with the Patriots this year.
Okay, good pickup. I got the Jaguars. 2 words: play action. Get back to it. 2015 was a great year for Bortles. I want to say great year, a good year for Bortles because of play action. He's got a slower release like Jameis Winston. That's the offense he needs to thrive in. So hopefully they can get some set it up with the running game and go over the top with play action. D.D. Westbrook is an explosive playmaker. He's from the University of Oklahoma, so I followed him quite a bit. I think he will see the field for sure as a returner in special teams, and he'll probably get some targets because Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns, they need to also get back to 2015 form, and I don't really see him doing that. We'll see if Bortles can stay the starter. Chad Henne might be the starter halfway through the season. I think the Jags play better this year. I know I've been kind of down on them, but I have them going at 7-9, 6-10-ish.
Staying in the AFC South, we're gonna look at the Titans. Year 3 for Mariota. It's time for him to step up. Is he that elite type of quarterback, or is he just gonna, continue to stay on the same level? I know Murray's been a little banged up, so Henry can step into his spot. Let's see how that 2-headed monster goes. I was a little suspect of their drafting of Corey Davis with the 5th overall pick. He hasn't played all preseason, so we'll see if he's able to come into the team and able to step into the offense and make a difference along with Eric Decker. They face the AFC North and the NFC West, which is going to be a tough draw, but I'm putting them around 9-7. I think they'll be right there with the Texans and the Jags fighting for that title.
What's up, Jairus? Bills.
Well, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Jairus.
You're on mute, Jairus.
Go, Chris. He might have
you good.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I'll just go with the Browns real quick. I'll keep it going. 3rd year, I believe, for Coach Hugh Jackson, the quarterback guru. And wouldn't you know it, the Browns got another year, another quarterback. Their new starting quarterback, Deshaun Kaiser, out of Notre Dame. He showed promise in the preseason. Obviously, they like him better than Cody Kessler, who I thought was actually decent last year. So we'll see if he sticks around. It's been eventful ending to the offseason for him. They traded their offensive guard Cam Irving to Kansas City for a 5th-round pick, as well as letting go of Pro Bowl veteran Joe Hayden, the guy who you put on somebody just to guard, because he's still going to, regardless how good it is, he's going to lock him up. Other than that, I expect big things from rookies and second-year players, guys like Corey Coleman, who had 19 yards per catch until he broke his hand. And the only thing to really be excited about is David Njoku and the potential of hopefully Kaiser can grow. You just got to hope and pray. Other than that, I got him going 4-12, still finishing last in that division. I think it'll be a battle between them and the Ravens for last place.
Good stuff.
Jones, you up?
Yeah. So after finishing 7-9 last season for the Bills, looks like they went into rebuilding mode by trading away key positions on both offense and defense. They still have LaShawn McCoy, who had over 1,600 yards from scrimmage last season. Look out for 2nd-round pick Zay Jones from East Carolina, dynamic wide receiver, set the NCAA record for catches last season. But it's going to be a tough season for the Bills. They start out playing Panthers, Broncos, Falcons, and Bengals. It's going to be a tough year for them. I don't see them doing very much this
season. All right. Somebody that I think is going to do big things this season, the Eagles. I got them being that they're going to win the NFC East.
Wow.
Yeah. I think with Ronald Darby and the other young guys they got on their defense, I think they're going to finish with how they started last season. I think they'll have a great defense as well. You got Timmy Jernigan. That whole front line just looks nasty to me. And then the addition of LeGarrette Blount. I don't know. I just can't see any. They're going to win that NFC East. That's all I say. 11-5.
Nice. Well, on to the Ravens. They had a pickup in Jeremy Maclin. Does he still have that? Is he still an explosive threat, or is he past his prime? That's a big deal for them. If he still has the speed, I think it's going to bode well for their offense. And look out, because their strength is definitely still on their defense. They did pick up Tony Jefferson, University of Oklahoma. Brandon Carr, those were the cornerbacks. So those are some great offseason acquisitions. Strength, like I mentioned, still their defense. Flacco came off of an injury last year, didn't do so well, and then this year he missed a lot of training camp because of a bad back. So we'll see how that plays out. And then Woodhead, I'm still interested if Danny Woodhead, if he has something left in the tank, because that was another pickup for them. I have them at 7-9. I still don't think they make the playoffs this year.
Dallas Cowboy. 50 Cent had a song called 21 Questions, I believe. That's kind of how I feel about the Cowboys. All I see is question marks on that team. Will Zeke play? Will he sit out game 2 through 7? Will he play the whole season? That's a question mark. Is Dak really as good as he showed last year? Or will teams, be able to implement that New York Giants blueprint where they shut him down for 2 games? And will he hit that sophomore wall? With their rookies like Ryan Switzer, would they step up? Would their middle linebacker step up? The defense was a question mark all last year. I think they overachieved immensely. I think that comes back to earth. They have AFC and NFC West, which is some winnable games. But all those question marks make me kind of question the team as a whole. I'm going 9-7 to 11-5, depending on the Zeke suspension. If he does play the whole season, I go 11-5, and they challenge the Giants for the title.
All right,
Jared.
You on after me? You good? It's all good. Don't even worry about it. The Steelers. I got the Steelers. Another AFC East or AFC, whatever. You know what I'm saying. So I got them going 10-6 as the division winners. Obviously, Big Ben is Big Ben. So I mean, they got a top level QB. He's not really elite anymore. And they also really their biggest signing is adding Joe Hayden to go alongside Artie Burns now. So they got Joe Hayden for 3 years, and the rumor is he turned down basically boatloads of more money from other teams, which means he wants that revenge factor to play the Browns in my eyes. They didn't really patch. They shored up their line by signing Alejandro Villanueva last year. The line gave up 21 sacks last season, was ranked second in the best line for Pro Football Focus. Wide receivers are strong as always. Eli Rogers, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Justin Hunter, Darius Hayward-Bay. Running backs are fine, solely just because of Le'Veon Bell, who can do it all. But behind him, there's not much left because D'Angelo Williams is now gone. And Le'Veon Bell is known to get hurt, so who's going to step in if he gets hurt or tired? And safety's still a weak spot. Mike Mitchell's there, but he's decent at best. So I still think they're a top 5 team in the AFC this year, and I got them going 10-6 as the division winner.
Sure. All right, so the Bengals had a solid offseason. They added wide receiver John Ross and Joe Mixon, immediate impact players for the offense. But one thing that I noted to keep an eye on that is going to be a make or break year for Marvin Lewis. Right now, he's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL, only behind Bill Belichick. And his contract doesn't extend beyond 2017. So if the Bengals don't start out strong and looking sharp, I think all eyes are going to be on Cincinnati to see if they're going to make a front office decision that's going to have Marvin Lewis outside of the Bengals. So they could have a good season, but we're going to have to see how it starts out. But I think all eyes are going to be on them this year.
Sure. They got the Vikings. Sam Bradford, I think playing or being there for a full off season, I think that's going to really help him out, and I think he'll have he had a pretty good season last year. I think it'll be even better this year. But, of course, AP is gone. He is no longer a Viking. That offensive line is completely reshuffled, but they did add Latavius Murray and rookie Dalvin Cook. So we'll see what their offense can do. They also added Michael Floyd as well, but I mean, hopefully he can get back on track. Stephon Diggs, he's just been balling out for them, and then their defense is great. They just need some offensive help, and I got them going 8-8, and they're going to be battling with the Lions, and that'll be my next team I speak on.
All right, so we're going to the NFC North. I got the Bears. Only 2 times in the last 21 years has a starting QB played all 16 games. And Jay Cutler was actually one of those. Rex Grossman was the other one. We're not going to see that again this year. Mike Glennon wasn't the best of starters in Tampa. And so they drafted Jameis Winston. And then he doesn't even get a chance to really showcase his skills in Chicago. And they draft Mitch Trubisky. So very early in the draft. We'll see Mitch before this season ends. I think he'll, get in there. It won't be too hard to be better than 3-13, but it is a very tough division. They do have Jordan Howard, who was a top running back, had a really good rookie campaign. I think he even has a little bit of a sophomore slump. On defense, they have a couple good pass rushers, Leonard Floyd, Pernell McPhee. Can they consistently get pressure on the QB? They would win more than 3 games if that's the case. I have them winning 4 games, and 1 to 2 of those being late in the season and some quasi-meaningless games.
With the Saints, everything looks marginal to me. Drew Brees is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's 38. I believe he starts to hit a little decline starting this year. They already lost Cooks. They lost a lot of firepower. They did gain AP. It's kind of hard to know what AP still has left in the tank. And will he even start? Will he be behind Ingram? Is that just going to be a 1-2 system? You have Thomas. You have Ted Ginn Jr., I guess, is your number 2. Fleener is your tight end. I just don't see a whole lot of firepower in that offense. And we know the defense is suspect. And the NFC South is an extremely strong division, one of the best divisions in football. So for that reason, I'm putting them around 5-11, 6-2.
So I got the Patriots, and I don't really think much needs to be said. We all know who the Patriots are these days. They're a dynasty. I mean, as long as Bill Belichick's the coach, they're going to be. And especially as long as he's still got Tom Brady playing QB at a high level, he will be. Obviously, we all know about the loss to Julian Edelman, but still they are really extremely deep at talent at wide receiver. They have Chris Hogan, Brandon Cooks now, Malcolm Mitchell, Danny Amendola, and now Philip Dorsett, as we spoke on earlier. And on defense, they have Stephon Gilmore to go alongside Malcolm Butler and Eric Rowe. And, I mean, literally this team is loaded from top to bottom everywhere. Like Matt keeps saying, the rich get richer. And that's just what we're seeing. I think the Pats are going to win that division. It's not really going to be close with the Dolphins. I do agree. Jay Cutler makes them better, but 13-3 for the Patriots, if not better. That's lowballing in my opinion.
All right, so the Buccaneers. The Bucs have a 10-year playoff drought. They haven't seen the postseason since 2007, but that may come to a change. They added Deshaun Jackson to play alongside Mike Evans. They added playmaking tight end O.J. Howard to the offense as well. We know Doug Martin is suspended for the first 3 games, but Jacquizz Rodgers from the Falcons is expected to step in, take some of the workload. So it'll be interesting to see how their offense changes with that dynamic early on. If Jameis can stay healthy and his offensive unit can match his production from last season, we should see the Bucs in the playoffs this year.
All right. So like I was saying with the Lions, I believe they're going to be battling it out with the Vikings in that division. I really like the way their offense looks. The offense looks like a sleeper. And, of course, they've got Matt Stafford, who just got paid. So I think he's ready to ball out. And their defense looks, very solid. They got Ezekiel onto Tahir Whitehead, and then A'Shawn Robinson. Like I said, I'm going to put them between 7-9 and 9-7. And I'm really fond of this rookie receiver they drafted, Kenny Galladay, out of Northern Illinois, I believe that's where he went. Yeah, he looked great in the preseason to me. So we'll see.
Good deal. On to the Rams. Sean McVay, is he just what the doctor ordered for Jared Goff? We will see. He did a great job with Kirk Cousins. He's going to implement a little, I would say, more like West Coast, or I don't want to say spread offense, but they definitely, had some short yardage pass plays up or when he was in Washington. Get Jared Goff going. We'll see. Wade Phillips is, has the defense kind of where he wants them. The only problem is if they lose some of their veterans in injury, they don't have a lot of depth. So I don't, see where they, where they're going to be. So they really need to stay. If they could stay perfectly healthy, this type of team would be 7-9, maybe even 8-8. But I don't know if they can also get Todd or Gurley going. That would, if they could get all the pieces of the puzzle and Sammy Watkins and the passing game going and Gurley going, then they could have a really good season. But I don't think they have the O-line to do that. So we'll see where they lie.
So the Atlanta Falcons, there will be a hangover. Will it be like that first movie Hangover, where it was hilarious and a great time for all, or will it be like the Panthers last year, who went from one of the best teams in the league to a terrible team? That kind of remains to be seen. We know the heartbreak that they just faced at the Super Bowl, had the game won, ended up collapsing in spectacular fashion. They lost their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, of course, who's in San Francisco now. They replaced him with Sarkisian. The head coach, Quinn, is known for being defensive mind. They added Dontari Poe, but last year that defense was kind of lower tier. So we'll see if that defense comes along with all the star power they have on defense. Again, it's going to be a hangover. Everything tells me to say they're going to be 11-5, 12-4, and to get back into the NFC Championship game. But with those hangovers being so prevalent, I feel like maybe 10-6, and they battle with Carolina for the title.
So moving on to the Chiefs, I think one of the top 3, if not 2 teams in the AFC. They are in the toughest division, one of the toughest at least, especially quarterback play wise. But I still think they make it through as champs at 11-5. They're returning their main weapons in Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Now that's kind of tough. I mean, we all know Kelce will ball out if he stays healthy, but Tyreek Hill, he may take a step back now that people know how to game plan for him. Because outside of that, that's really all Alex Smith has to throw to. Plus, we forget they lost Spencer Ware to a knee injury, so now they're going to rely on Charkandrick West and Kareem Hunt. But if anything is proven from the past, it's that Andy Reid knows how to overcome this with any running back. So I think they'll be fine. Plus, they have an elite defense. They have a strong secondary led by Eric Berry and Marcus Peters, with Justin Houston and them boys up front. So I think the Chiefs still make it through at 11-5, 10-6 at the worst. They win their division, battling with the Raiders.
Speaking of the Raiders, they're one of the most talked about teams in the National Football League right now, being one of the only teams that are being predicted to upend the Patriots to represent the AFC this year. Of course, they solidified Derek Carr long-term. They added Marshawn Lynch and Jared Cook, so they should be improved on the offensive end of the football. Defensively, they need some help. They do still have Khalil Mack, but if they can at least be marginal, they can kind of help take the pressure off the offense. But the Raiders have what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl, maybe even win a Super Bowl, and give the Raiders fans something to cheer for before they leave town.
All right, so we got the Seahawks, and I think this team is going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're going to be playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think it's the last run for the Legion of Boom. With the addition of Sheldon Richardson, that's going to make them really tough. That's all I can say about that. The additions of Eddie Lacy and hopefully CJ Prosise and Thomas Rawls, they'll stay healthy. I think that could be a dominant run game. I think it could. And receivers, I mean, they could use some improvement, but they should be good enough.
All right. So on to the Broncos. They're in the AFC West, and that's a tough place to play right now. Some analysts have 3 of the 4 teams making the playoffs. They have a new head coach in Vance Joseph. They added Jamal Charles, and they still have C.J. Anderson. But the running game is going to look a little different. It's going to be more of a power running scheme instead of the zone blocking scheme. They say it's going to help C.J. Anderson for sure, but I kind of thought he did pretty well, I'd say 2 2 or 3 seasons ago in the zone blocking scheme. So we'll see if that plays out. Trevor Siemian has the QB job, but Osweiler was a late pickup, coming all the way full circle. Kind of sent him on a road trip, had him collect a few paychecks, and now he's back. So I actually would not be surprised if Osweiler gets in the mix. Paxton Lynch has a hurt bum shoulder right now, so Trevor does have the job. Defense is still great. They did get rid of TJ Ward, released him. Just a business decision. Elway thought the younger DBs were good enough to fill his shoes. We'll see. I actually have them finishing last in the division. I think that defense ages a little bit, so we'll see. I still think they'll have a 6-10, 7-9, potentially 8-8 record. They do still have Demaryius Thomas and Sanders, so they got some options. We'll see if QB can get them the ball.
So if this were Hollywood, I would think the Cardinals might be set up for one of those Hollywood-type endings. You got Larry Fitz, one of the best receivers we've ever seen. We got Carson Palmer, who's nearing the end of his career. You feel like they could make one last run. You got David Johnson, who is a legitimate MVP candidate coming up next year. I think everybody needs to watch out for John Brown. He was injured a lot last year. I think he's one of the most talented, underrated receivers in that slot position. But you know what? They face the AFC South, which is a really tough division, and they face the NFC East, which is a murderer's row this year. I can't see them going any more than about 8-8, and then out there in the NFC West facing the Seahawks, it's just not looking good for them. I wish the best for them. I wish Fitz could have that Hollywood ending. I just don't see it happening this year.
Yeah. So moving on to the Texans, I'm really high on the Titans this year. I think the Titans are going to win this division. So I have the Texans coming second at 9-7. It's not 8-8. They have a strong-ish defense. I think they age a little on the back end, and obviously on the linebackers with Merciless and McKinney's young, but I'm forgetting the white guy's name. But yeah, J.J. Watt and Clowney, that's the duo up front. But I still think there's just too much offensive turmoil to overcome with the not having a surefire QB. It's still up in the air for midway through the season. I think ultimately we expect Watson to start at some point. He's your future long-term option, not Tom Savage. And can Lamar pick up where he left off from last year is my question. He had 263 carries for over 1,000 yards, 4.0 average, but he lacked in the touchdown department, and he was very inconsistent throughout the year up until the end. So there's just some major holes on offense with the main receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, wanting Tom Savage over Watson, but the fans and organization wanting Watson. So it's too much turmoil for me. I think the Titans end up winning the division. They finish second.
All right, lastly, I have the Packers. Mike McCarthy said that Ty Montgomery's development is over. It's time to win games. So that sounds like a vote of confidence for their run game this season. They're one of the only few teams that have the same outlook year in and year out. They're going to be one of the top NFC teams. They added Marcellus Bennett, who's going to make an immediate impact for them. A security blanket for Aaron Rodgers in the passing game. But all in all, in the end, the Packers are going to be up there. They're going to probably finish with a 12-win season at least. And we'll see them in the mix for the NFC Championship game.
All right. Who wants Jets and Chargers?
I'll take it. Jets, we all know are going to be trash, let's be honest. I've been living by this. Every NFL fan knows, even the Jet fans themselves. Fireman Ed knows too. Look, Christian Hackenberg, trash. Who's going to start, him or Bryce Petty? So you're done. You traded your best D lineman for an average wide receiver in the league with no QB to get him the ball still, and your defense is just that. Todd Bowles, it sucks that that's the job he went to. Going to the Chargers, I think the Chargers actually are better than people think. I think people are sleeping on the Chargers by a long shot, mainly because last year they were in almost every game. All their losses, I believe they were winning in the fourth quarter, most of them, if not all. So they were blowing leads. I think they learned from that. They also get back a Keenan Allen, who you hope can stay healthy, because if he can stay healthy with the emergence of Tyrell Williams last year, who had 1,000 yards, who's an undrafted free agent, to go along with Hunter Henry and Melvin Gordon, the defense with Bosa. Bosa's going to have a strong year. The Chargers will be better than people think. I think Phillip Rivers doesn't throw interceptions in the fourth quarter, and they're good. So I don't know.
Rivers just got his SUV outfitted for with a QB film room in his SUV. So he said he's ready. So I think they're going to be decent too.
Yeah, 80-mile drive from his house to the stadium.
Jeez, I didn't even
All
know
right.
that.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
So we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. So
Yeah, man,
we
I was
did
out
it.
there. I was
Yeah.
speed racing through there, baby.
30 minutes.
Everybody went fast except Jarris on the Redskins. He was slowed way down.
First off, you didn't tell me that this is going to be timed and you're going to be cutting us off. I thought we'll just, I thought 1 minute was just a general idea.
It was, but
My
when
man Justin came in there with the Heisman stiff
Nah,
on.
nah,
Hold
like-
up.
None of you guys even know how I feel about the skin. It's all right, man. Don't even worry about it.
Look, man, we know how you feel about the Skins. I feel that way about the Panthers. I feel you, Justin.
Real quick, Jones.
I had a realistic outlook. It wasn't.
What is it? What's the record, or what's the position they're gonna finish in the NFC East?
I mean, I wasn't ready to give that. I was just going to give you guys an outlook on the team itself from a defensive standpoint because I felt that's where they put the most of their emphasis on.
So they're finishing last in the NFC East, is what you're telling me.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if
Sounds
you
like
if you don't like the Redskins, I'm sure that's what you're.
No, I like
Realistically, they're not going to. I think any team can win that division. To be honest with you, it depends on what.
No.
Absolutely.
I completely disagree. I disagree.
Jake said the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles out of all teams, they were trash last season, and now all of a sudden they're going to win.
Like you said, you lost 2,000-yard receivers. You're relying on Terrell Pryor, Jamison Crowder, who's a slot receiver. So, and Doxson, who we haven't really seen much of. So, I mean, Jordan Reed's still a beast. Kirk Cousins looked a little sloppy in the preseason. I don't know. I just think that, especially if Zeke plays the whole season with the lawsuit,
No, they're going to take a step back. No one thinks the Cowboys will be what they were last season. That's a mistake to think they're going to actually be as good as they were last year. I think anyone can play that at this point.
I agree.
I agree with that.
if
That
Zeke plays
defense
every
is
game, they'll be
depleted.
all right because they're going to run the ball, and that's how you play defense when you have no defense.
Their offensive line isn't what it used to be, so they lost some people on the offensive line. But it's all right.
They'll be fine. They're loaded at offensive line for a reason.
It's all right.
Well, thank you for Matt Jones, by the way.
Hope he caught on the football for you.
Yeah. He's only going to get it maybe 2 times, so. All right, let's take a break from the NFL just for a second. The Isaiah Thomas trade. Apparently, he's not going to be available he probably won't be available until All-Star break. Were the Cavs right for asking for an additional compensation?
Absolutely.
I mean, they were right because they got it. So,
I mean, they're right because Isaiah Thomas, the player they actually traded for, is not going to be available until halfway through the season. I mean, at that point, I don't think they realized how serious his injury was. It makes sense for them to kind of want to have some extra compensation because, I mean, sad to say, they kind of got damaged goods. I mean, we know what Isaiah Thomas can do. But we don't know how long his injury is. Is there going to be any setbacks? Is it going to be something that they're going to have to delay farther on throughout the season? We don't know. But, I mean, I think he has like 1 year left on his contract. So he has a half to prove that he can be here long term. And they already have Derrick Rose. With Derrick Rose balls out, I mean, there's a lot of factors in there, and I think they're right to try to get something else for him.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think that, I mean, like you said, damaged goods per se. I mean, you still get the big trade, and we see they're just turning around that pick and trying to get another superstar to load up with anyway. So I think they'll be fine. And Derrick Rose, the addition is obviously one of the biggest signings in the offseason because now he's going to be your starter. And he's going to be playing alongside LeBron James. So maybe that helps him. Because when you put a player with somebody like him, it makes the game that much easier for them. So I think that the load is already off of whoever's going to be in there, Derrick Rose or IT. And then that way, when Derrick Rose is playing, hopefully, and not dying on the court with the knee injury, then IT can just seamlessly come back in. So I think they're right. And both teams, it's good. They're good to go.
Yeah, I think they were right to ask for it and see if they could get it or not, and they end up getting a second, which is what I figured they would get. I still don't think Isaiah Thomas was the main cog in that trade. I think it was that pick. Like you said, they're already trying to flip that and try to get another star in there with LeBron, hopefully try to keep him. But they were able to get an additional second. That's just another piece that they could trade or another piece that they can build around if LeBron leaves. So, I mean, I think it works out for all parties involved.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to ask for it. It's kind of like, with IT, they had to get him in there and really see how bad the injury was, assess everything. It's kind of like buying a used car. You want to test drive it. You want to have, somebody look at it and everything before you actually, pay the full amount. Otherwise, if you still like the car and something's wrong with it, you're going to ask for a little bit of a discount, something off the sticker. So, I think that's right.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was like I said on the last episode, I thought the trade was going to go back because I didn't think they would get any additional compensation. But I mean, they got something. They were happy with it. So, guess mission accomplished.
Yeah. At least our episode stands valid now. We don't have a new one for a new trade.
All right. Since
Is it
NFL, no, not
Oh,
quite.
my bad.
Yeah, it's the NFL kickoff. So every week we're gonna do a pick 'em. We'll do one live right now. So I'm gonna go down the list and y'all just tell me what you think. Pats and Chiefs. Matt, who you got?
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
Pats, of course.
Pats. All right, Justin.
I got the Chiefs
Chiefs. Okay. All right.
Justin got to be
for an
different.
early season. Well, I mean, the Pats have lost early.
All right.
Before. Chiefs are a good team.
What you got, Chris?
I got the Patriots.
All right. Cool. Jairus.
Got to be the Patriots, man.
All right. Cool. Jets at Bills. Let's go ahead, Matt.
Buffalo, I guess.
Right? Can we just put the same pick down for across the board?
Everybody going Bills? All right.
Yeah.
I'll go
I mean,
Bills.
that's not even really.
Yeah,
That's gonna be real messed up if the Jets somehow win, though. And we're
That's
just
gonna
like-
be an ugly game. That who loses on that is the fans, because that's gonna be just a horrible game.
If Tyrod plays, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he got cleared for a concussion protocol, so he should be good to go week 1.
I think they'll wax the Jets then.
yeah, most likely. Raiders at Titans. That should be a good one.
I'll be good.
I'm going Raiders.
Raiders. Justin.
Raiders.
I'm gonna go Titans.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
Okay. Eagles at Skins. I'm gonna go ahead and mark Jairus down right now.
How you know what I'm gonna say? You know, I'm one of the more realistic fans you're gonna find on the show. One of the realistic fans out here.
All right, you go first. Then what you got?
But the Redskins are home, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them that dub.
Oh,
It'll be close though. It'll be really close.
all right.
It always goes that way.
What's up, Chris?
Eagles.
Eagles. Justin.
I'm gonna go Skins.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna send Justin a gift basket.
No, I mean,
I'm gonna send him a gift basket, man.
What you got, Matt?
Yeah, I'm going Skins.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Matt.
We are
brothers for a long
cleared for
time,
landing
you know
in
that?
Gridiron Heights. Welcome back to
Love you,
football,
dog.
everyone.
You know, just want someone sitting out there.
Cardinals and Lions. What you got, Matt?
Where is that game? Where we at? That game is. I'm gonna go Lions.
Okay. Justin.
I'm gonna go Cards.
All right. Chris.
I'm gonna go Lions because it's week 1 and they'll actually have a running game with Amir Abdullah and Theo Riddick.
Before they both die.
Yeah, exactly. They have a week of them, so
Yeah.
I think they'll be good.
All right, Jairus, what you got?
Can I ask the time of the game?
I
mean,
don't know the
it-
time of
it's-
the game.
It's one.
It's a 1
I know.
o'clock game. All right, the Cardinals going to win then.
Okay.
Okay.
My man, spelling beat it. Can I get a country of origin,
Hey,
please?
man, I mean, all these things go into a decision, man.
Nah, I know. I'm
Look
just
at this
playing.
spot. Yeah, you know.
Steelers and Browns. I think everybody's going Steelers on that one.
Yeah.
No upset for week 1 for the
Yeah, Steelers.
All right. And Jags and Texans.
Texans.
Texans?
I don't know anybody's going to. Is anyone going to really do a upset?
I'm gonna go Jaguars. I think Bortles and Leonard Fournette kind of shock people with them. Like Justin said, I think if they can go to play action, I mean, people are making a big deal out of that preseason tape of the ball being a little bit out of bounds and him saying keep the ball in bounds. That happens at every preseason, like in every training camp. So, I mean, yeah, he looked bad, but I think Bortles. I don't know. I think he bounces back this week 1 and does fine. They got a good
Against the
defense.
Texans defense, really?
And like I said, the Texans they're just living off the name of J.J. Watt and Clowney.
Yeah. All right, Justin, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Jags just because Texans. Everybody's been out of their homes. They don't. There's a lot of disruption in Houston, and I think that will have a little bit of an effect. So I'm gonna go Jags.
Good. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, same thought process. I think just because of the week that it's been for Houston, that I think they're gonna be a little off their game. Jacksonville's gonna still win.
All right. Falcons at Bears.
Yeah,
I'll go Falcons.
Falcons for everyone.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah.
All right. Bucks at Dolphins. That should be a good one.
Maybe it's gonna be a good one.
They're not playing in Miami though. They're either going to reschedule it for a later.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're either going to reschedule it for a later date or move it. So that's yet to be seen.
Yeah.
It'll probably be because that hurricane looks terrible coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't play at either
Real
one
bad.
of them stadiums. They both.
So they're just gonna
reschedule.
So that game's not even gonna.
Yeah, it's
exist this
probably
weekend.
gonna
That
be
or they'll go
rescheduled.
neutral site. Yeah.
Well, do we want to pick just in case they go neutral site, or is it canceled? Yeah.
No, they haven't said it. It's either neutral site or they move it back. So, I'll go I'll go Jay Cutler and them boys. I think Jameis Winston still is a little turnover prone. I mean, they both are. Both quarterbacks are, but I don't know. I think Jay Cutler has something to prove.
Yeah. I'm going Bucks.
Bucks, okay.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks too.
All right. You got yours.
Joe.
Jers.
That's a
Oh,
good
you
team.
got?
Yeah, so the Bucks. Yeah.
Bucks.
All
Sorry.
right.
About to say I love the.
Seahawks and Packers. That'll be a really good game, actually.
Where is it at? Do we know who's on?
They're
In
playing
Lambeau.
in
Green Bay.
Yeah, in Lambeau.
Sunday afternoon.
I said Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm gonna go Green Bay.
I'm gonna go Green
At
Bay.
Lambeau, I'm going Green Bay. I think that's a pick on me. But
Yeah, it's a toss up right there.
Yeah.
Actually went ahead and picked the Seahawks on that one. So
That's one of the games you stay away from betting on.
yeah, it is. Panthers or 49ers. That's probably Panthers for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I
Okay,
got the
I got.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Even Justin sold his team out quick.
McCaffrey's the real deal, man. I'm trying to tell people.
Yeah.
All right. Giants and Cowboys.
Well, since Zeke is playing, I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
I don't see anything different happening from the last two, so I'm going Giants.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, man.
It didn't look like Dak can handle that Giants pressure, and I don't see that going anywhere. So we'll see. It's gonna be a baptism one way or another. Either he'll show that he's moved on, or he'll fold like he did.
Is
Last year.
Odell gonna be good for the game?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's jumping up and down in locker rooms. He's good to go, dude.
Yeah. Well, and then Shepard too. But your offense should destroy the Cowboys secondary, like in actuality. But we'll see if it happens.
What you got, Jairus?
Cowboys are taking a step back this year, as I mentioned earlier. The Giants are going to have a field day, I believe. Cowboys don't have a defense. The Giants' defense is going to overwhelm. I think it's not going to be a good game. I mean, to be honest with you, I think the Giants are going to win by at least 14.
All right.
Two. Okay.
All right.
Smacking it down.
Saints at Vikings.
Ooh. Give me the Saints. I think they run a two-back set that's going to surprise people.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 different power backs, so I'm going to give it to them. Plus, Michael Thomas has a breakout year. Their defense still sucks, but I don't really trust Bradford enough yet at all. I mean, he's proven not to be trusted, so. And they don't really have many receivers. I mean, Treadwell and Diggs, but they're just your average receiver right now, so.
They got Thielen. I like Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen's good, but
Very
we'll
reliable.
see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go Saints.
Yeah, I got the Vikes.
Dan Bradford, is he the starter, or did they say for sure he's going to be week one starter?
Yeah, Teddy's
sure,
on
yeah.
the team.
Hey, Teddy might not even play this season.
Yeah. He's got another year if he's going to play.
I'm going to go to
All right.
Saints.
Matt.
Going Vikings.
All right.
All right.
Broncos and Chargers. We're down to the last 3, y'all.
Give me Broncos. No, Chargers. My bad.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Chargers.
That's what everybody's.
I'm going Broncos.
Denver's a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos.
Yeah, they're at home though, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
so,
still.
I mean,
I don't know.
you're given 3 points being the home team, so they're at half a
Yeah.
point basically.
Yeah.
JS, you said Chargers, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Chargers, man. I mean, the Broncos defensively look awesome, but offensively, we'll have to see.
All right. Colts at Rams.
I'm gonna go.
Ugly.
See, this is tough. I'm gonna go Rams. I mean, yeah, Aaron Donald's not playing, but they don't have to worry about Andrew Luck, so they don't have to get too much pressure. And I think Todd Gurley. I mean, when do we ever talk about the Colts having a good defense in the last 15 years? I don't know.
Yeah,
So I think. I mean, you're relying on some rookies, so I think that Todd Gurley, with an improved Jared Goff, will have more running lanes. Won't be getting hit in the backfield as much.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Okay.
Say Rams too. Hopefully Gurley can get off because he's my top running back.
All right.
Sean McVay, offensive genius. It's just got to be the Rams. I'm sorry. I mean, if Andrew Luck was playing, it'd be a little different. Since I don't see you guys being able to score as much.
All right. And finally, the Ravens at Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals all the way.
All right.
All
I
right.
think AJ Green's poised for a big year too.
And then Matt, you want to make the announcement on the ESPN pick'em?
Oh yeah, if you guys want to join us, we're gonna do this all season. Go to ESPN.com, go to the fantasy section, and search for their pick'em. And we are Just Critting Sportscast. If anybody can't find it, just shoot us a note on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, and I will send you an invite. Just give me your email address. But yeah, we're gonna do this all year, and maybe we'll, I don't know, give away a little something to whoever wins at the end of the season.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I need Jairus and Matt on the last one. I didn't get y'all's prediction.
Who was that? I'm going Cincy. Was that the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cincy.
I'm gonna go Ravens, man.
All right.
Ravens, yeah.
All right, we done. I'll make a copy of it and send it to y'all for your records.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm off next week on the show. We can kind of keep a tab throughout the year how we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we
Yeah,
definitely
give us our record on the week or
Yeah.
something.
Well, we're gonna enter this pick'em deal on ESPN too, so we'll be able to.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, y'all want to do a couple top hat real quick? We got time.
I
We
think
can do
we're
it
real quick.
over
I
an
think we're over an
hour.
hour.
We're an hour
No.
two. I think we gotta.
That's
call
cool.
this
It's
one.
all right. I'll
98-0 though.
You said 98-0. That's exactly what I had too.
I mean, that's fights on the football field score right there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
got to be.
man, that's
Man,
At some point, a coach has to realize that it's unsportsmanlike. I mean, yes, you're destroying a team, you're doing well, your guys are doing well.
you know what
gotta-
you know what
pull it
that
back.
sounds like?
You got to pull it back.
That sounds like participation trophies, man. You signed up to play. If you can't stop them, you can't stop them, man.
But there's a such thing as sportsmanship. In this
yeah.
game,
I don't even
man.
think
you,
Belichick would.
you got to at least say,
There
you know
is
what?
a thing of
That's a
sportsmanship.
good
98
game.
is bad, yes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but still,
You're not accomplishing anything by scoring.
But-
that many points. I mean, come
but
on, man.
still, who did they start starters the whole time? If they went to like backups and backups, then whatever.
I mean,
If you're running your offense with backups or backups, it don't bother me.
I don't know how the scoring situation was, but if you're up 60, 70 points in the fourth quarter, you run the ball every time and give them the ball back. There's no need for you to score anymore. They're never going to come back. It won't hurt your team by letting the other guys get a little bit of whatever. Because this is what? Which team was this? I mean, I don't even think these teams were even anything, right?
Like
Either-
Division 3, I think.
Yeah, so it was like,
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
that's but still.
Well,
It's
your
just
2 cents are broke.
Yo, let's get out.
All
yeah,
right.
man. Well, we got to tell everybody we doing this on Tuesdays from now on, so we can cover the Monday night games.
We can make a Facebook post too, yeah. So
Yeah.
new live show next week, Tuesday, 8:30 normally when Matt gets the kids to bed. You know.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So episode 21 will be live next week. I'm Chris. That's Justin. That's Jairus, Matt, and the no face Aria Diggs. We'll see you guys next time.
We out.
Later.
Deuces.
All right.